this is a big deal in my estimation, if it happens. And I don't know, I think it will happen. But here is Gavin Newsom announcing that they're going to spend $100 million in the budget
in
California to produce insulin. And the closest we've gotten to this is the VA will do this with a couple of generic drugs if there's a shortage. They never talk about it because there's no one, no one who's doing that. It's in their interest to publicize it because they want to keep their head down. And if I remember correctly, Elizabeth Warren had a proposal to also have the government produce some generic drugs if there was a shortage. But no one has come anywhere close to, we're just going to take this one class of generic drugs, insulin, that was actually designed with trying to keep it generic in perpetuity, I think by the Canadian who developed it. And this is, it's a 100-year-old drug, I think it is now. And this, I think, is a big, big deal. Listen to this.
On my first day in office, I signed an executive order to put California on the path towards creating our own prescription drugs. And now it's happening. California is going to make its own insulin. Nothing epitomizes market failures more than the cost of insulin. Many Americans experience out-of-pocket costs anywhere from $300 to $500 per month for this life-saving drug. California is now taking matters into our own hands. The budget I just signed sets aside $100 million so that we can contract to make our own insulin at a cheaper price, close to at cost, and to make it available to all. $50 million will go towards the development of low-cost insulin products, and an additional $50 million will go towards a California-based insulin manufacturing facility that will provide new, high-paying jobs and a stronger supply chain for the drug. Because in California, we know people should not go into debt to receive life-saving medication.
I mean, I don't know how.
Is this a deep fake?
Honestly, like it's such a good idea, and I don't know how like Kathy Hochul doesn't jump out in New York and also do this. I mean,
the reason like Newsom's probably doing this is because he and Pritzker are in a cold war for like who's going to be running on the Democratic ticket if Biden doesn't run in 2024. But like this is the value of that kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't, like I say, I don't ever care about what Cold people's intentions, motivation for doing something good is. This is, I think, a huge deal. And then, there's a lot of questions that I have. I'm not capable of answering at this point, but like, can California sell it to other states?
Yeah.
I mean,
and when you mention Hochul, that puts pressure on her. I think Gustavo Rivera, a state senator who we had at our live show in Brooklyn, had introduced in the state Senate a bill that caps insulin at $30. So hopefully that sets off a chain reaction, especially because, if California is doing something, New York takes notice, understandably.
And California, you got like, 40 million people? In New York, you got like 20 million people. You start producing insulin for them, and then if it's possible, I don't understand why the state wouldn't be able to sell at state lines. It's not like I don't know what the analogy would be, but I'm sure there's some state-produced products or something. Fees. I mean, you sell I guess maybe that's because you're doing those activities.
We have protectionism against our own state produced goods. Like between state lines would be wild.
Well, that would be great because it would mean other states are doing it. But if other states are not doing it, I don't see why you wouldn't have, like, if you're Massachusetts, why wouldn't you make a deal with New York? Like, we'll give you 5% over cost and we'll just provide it for our people. They're going to save the money on the contributions to Medicaid and whatnot. This is just...
It's in your interest, too, if you're a governor, to be advertising that you're providing insulin at a low cost for your citizenry, and it puts pressure on other states.
Without a doubt.
I didn't even know this, but when insulin was first created, they sold the patent for $1 because the people who created insulin understood that it would change people's lives and it was so life-saving.
Yes.
And like what we're seeing now is why intellectual property, especially in the scope of medicine, is such a dangerous dangerous proposition and has gone way too far. And I'm happy to see that Newsom's undercutting it.
We're going to get to Alex Breen in just a moment. We got a couple of sponsors of today's program. And one is from the pharmaceutical company that overcharges for insulin.
Oh, what a coincidence. Disregard what we just said.
Disregard. Gavin Newsom is just a puppet. Look, and I just want to make it clear. Obviously, we don't have that ad, but I also want to make it clear that I don't care about Gavin Newsom. I have been at times surprised by how I think effective he has been in some things as governor, other things not so much. But I don't care. This is a good policy.
Yeah.
And anything that encourages politicians to do good policy, I think is good.